How's everybody doing out there? Great. Let's get this thing started. I'm excited to be first. My brain has never functioned before noon before. All right. It's a strange time to be a college student. In a land where higher education is becoming more and more essential to our population success, we are seeing it become more and more difficult to acquire the means to attain a four-year university. I don't need to tell you college ain't cheap. No, that would be a waste of time. Ask the student sitting next to you in your biology class. Ask your daughter when she comes home for winter break. Or parents, ask your bank accounts. College is expensive. We get that. Rather, I am here to tell you that higher ed is quickly becoming yet another socioeconomic barrier that keeps the rich rich and the poor poor. The system is designed so brilliantly oppressive that I often wonder if that was the intention. An article in the New York Times reported that college tuition and fees today are 559% of their costs in 1985. In other words, the costs have nearly sextupled. Average college debt in 1992, $9,200. Average college debt in 2012, $26,500. Holy crap. It's gotten so bad that America's total student loan debt has exceeded its total credit card debt. We are literally in a higher education crisis. If nothing is done to at least level out the rate of tuition increase, or reach a point where people like me, poor people, people of color, simply won't see college as an option. I grew up in a far, far away place called Portland, Oregon. Before it was the gentrified vegan hipster capital of the country. My mother was 15 when she had me, and by the time I was 5 years old, my father was sent to prison to serve a 30-year sentence. Statistically, children who grew up the way I did don't go to college. They go to jail. 70% of children who have a parent in prison can expect to be in prison at some point in their lives, and less than 4% of children from the lowest income families graduate from college. So, I'm not supposed to be here giving you this speech today. I'm not supposed to be able to say I was an editor of a news organization or a student in preparations to chase his dreams in the Big Apple. I'm supposed to be uneducated, intoxicated, and incarcerated. But a community of people who wouldn't let me fail, and a mother who would rather see me dead than unsuccessful, helped me beat the statistics and land in the University of Oregon. Look, I don't believe in American dreams, and I believe America is about as socially mobile as a slug. But it's nice to know that there's a chance for things like this to happen. But soon, it won't be a good idea for college-age people who aren't blessed with well-off parents or scholarships to enroll in universities. It just won't be worth it. There are some estimations that say out-of-state tuition could reach $100,000 by 2025, and in-state around $57,000. That's horrifying, even when factoring in inflation. How can we be the land of the free when our brightest students are enslaved to their education debt? And why the hell isn't anyone in DC doing anything about it? I think about the 60s and 70s. Millions of college-age students exploring and expressing their individualism through mass protests and even influencing America to get out of the Vietnam War. I think about all of the activism that was going on at universities like this one. And then I realize this can't happen again. Our generation is too indebted to the system to stand against it. We're desperate for employment, forced to sacrifice dreams and aspirations because of our fears of the debt looming over us. I mean, how can we stick it to the man if we're on our knees begging him for a job? College operates under the archaic assumption that students have parents that can pay for their education. If a student has well-off parents, they'll be more capable of following their hearts and following the career path they desire without so much financial pressure. If you weren't ascribed to a rich household, tough luck. The institution of higher education throws debt bricks at its least fortunate and most diverse students. Those same students universities use to pronounce their tolerance and acceptance through diversity campaigns. Those same students they cherish for overcoming the odds and making it here are the same students their institutions are structured against. Whether it was the intention or not, the surging costs are making college less and less accessible for people like me. And we all need to be thinking about it. It should be a bipartisan, apolitical effort. Democrats, Republicans, black people, Hispanic people, white people, people of all sorts go to college. It's in all of our best interests that students of all hues and classes can continue to go to universities. A diverse plane gives everyone a chance to be successful, and it enriches the entire college experience. Students in well-cultured campuses have access to stories they never heard at home, and they learn to interact with people from all walks of life. In a world where tolerance and humanity is needed more than ever, we must do everything we can to protect that. After all, the idea economy can't thrive without diverse minds. So what will higher ed look like in 25 years? Will plans like Kitzhaber's 40-40-20 generate the brain power and attention needed to save our broken system? Will colleges begin slowing tuition rates when the enrollment starts dropping? Will someone start an agency that goes to inner city schools and helps them apply for scholarships? Can the student population, one that is beat down with debt and unemployment, scream, "Enough is enough," and relive the protests of the 60s? Or are we just going to sit here as college deteriorates into a rich boys club? I sure hope not.
I went to college as a dreamer and left as a mule. Systematically killed my hopes and they taught me the rules of a life where my talents are simply a tool. And most of my money goes to my bills to the school. See, on the real it was cool to be a college kid, but I'm so stressed I'd be better off knowledgeless. All of this leads to a life of mediocrity. 20K a year so they treat me like property. It's gotta be a better way to live. Didn't think it'd be like this. Higher ed life isn't shit, kids, but you gotta do it. We at a loss and we stupid, confusing illusions we pursuing. We never come to conclusions.
But still you ask me,
Still you ask
what
me,
will I do?
what's a nigga gonna do?
This is all I've got to say to you.
And this is all I gotta say, cause every day I'm in a place where people trade souls for freedom, but we need them, and they don't understand the definition of debt. Making $1,000 check stretch for an entire month. Professors with some lying punks on the phone begging for a rent extension, while football coaches get $1 million pensions. Man, we just want a fair chance. Instead, we on this plantation singing slave chants.
But still you ask me,
But still you ask,
what will I do?
what's a nigga gonna do?
This is all I've got to say to you.
That's all I gotta say. Employers want employees with experience. We graduate from college, they avoid us like we ignorant. How does a college man get a job when in order to get a job, you gotta have a job? So we stay broke, an overplayed joke, deferring on our student loans, no pesos. All these degrees and I'm still cold, on a job hunt with no hope.
But still you ask me,
Yet you ask
what
me,
will I do?
what the fuck am I to
This is
do?
all I've got to say to you.
That's all I gotta say, because you don't know what you got. So that shit's already gone.
Thank you.